Evening, everyone. Welcome to the city council meeting. If you haven't already, please silence your cell phones. City of Anamosa City Council agenda regular session Monday, August 11, 2025, 6 p.m. Anamosa Library and Learning Center. 1.0 roll call.
Crump,
Here.
Hicksman, here, Weimer,
Here.
Dansman,
Here.
Gumbert,
4 council members are present in chamber. No council members are remote. 2.0 pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3.0 consent agenda review and approve. There are 4 items before us on this agenda item. I will read all 4. Council can make a motion that includes the word consent, which will bring all 4 up for discussion in a single vote. Or council can make a motion on any of the items. Item A, minutes from July 28, 2025 regular session. Item B, current bills. Item C, liquor licenses. Item D, noise street closure permit applications.
Move to approve consent agenda.
second,
Motion by Rich, second by Kay. Council is open to discuss any of the items. Is there any public comment on the items? Haley, will you conduct a roll vote, please?
Hicksman, yes, Weimer,
Yes.
Dansman,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Consent motion carries. 4.0 postponed items unfinished business. 4.1 resolution 2025-48 approving the placement of 2 children that play signs in the public right of way on South Main Street at the corner of South Main Street, West Hickory Street, and South Main Street, West Mill Street in Anamosa, Iowa.
I've just included a resolution brought back from last meeting. The letter that was included at the last meeting is also enclosed. Any further needed on this or?
Move to approve resolution number 2025-48.
I'll second.
Motion by Todd, second by Dan. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Weimer,
Yes.
Dansman,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Hicksman, yes,
Motion to approve carried. Council, I believe you have made the right decision for public safety on this matter. 4.2 update proposed annexation of parcel 2008-53 in northeast northwest excluding parcel 2004-66.
Just a brief update on this. We didn't get information in time to have any action on this for tonight. I was in contact with the property owner on Friday. However, from the sounds of it, I think that their contractor was out of town just for a week or so. They were tasked with trying to get an estimate on the approximate amount of pipe to go around the lift station, the situation that we have up there. We didn't hear back from them in order to get this on here, but as of Friday, they said the contractor was back and has a pretty good idea they were going to get us something so we can make a decision, hopefully by the next council meeting. It sounded like the original idea of running the pipe directly in the lift station was probably not going to work with some utilities that were in the way, as well as a possible recommendation against that from the DNR. So we just kind of asked them to go with the amount of piping as originally planned to get an approximate idea of that distance of pipe that they would have to run.
Any questions or comments for Jeremiah? I know there has been some very minimal discussion, but as we look towards future growth of Anamosa, up that corridor of 151 to the north seems to be the most logical. Just curious if that area does develop on the north side of 130th. How will this line impact bringing service from that area down? Is there some type of plan of additional structure to be put in place? Just trying to do some forward thinking here.
Steve Agnes, Utility Superintendent. If that development does go through, then the first thing the city's going to have to do is rip that lift station out and rebuild it because it's not built right.
I thought at the time, and again, before any of our time here serving, what I've heard throughout development in that area is that lift station would be able to withstand future growth.
It's not built right. There's only about this much what I'll call freeboard for the lift station to fill in. So the way the lift stations are all designed, they'll have 3 or 4 feet where it'll fill in, it'll hold that water till it reaches a certain level, then it'll pump it out and pump it down. There's only about 18 inches of freeboard in this lift station. It needed another barrel section put on the bottom of the lift station. There's also no rails to slide when you pull the pumps out. So it's a real challenge to pull the pumps in and out, which we managed to get done today because we had one that was going bad that we had to send away for repairs.
Is that lift station currently being utilized?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yep. It basically feeds the 3 houses that are to the west.
So it's put in and at its maximum capacity already.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Steve. It's kind of disappointing on the city's part. Yes, it can't be utilized for future growth, but we'll have to deal with it when it surfaces.
Yeah, whenever that develops. I've looked for drawings and stuff on it and I can't find any drawings on that lift station. I have no idea when it was actually put in.
Also, anything else? Thanks for that update. 5.0, council action items. 5.1, presentation, sanitary sewer survey and non-compliance review.
I've included the DNR sanitary sewer survey as well as some communication from HR Green in response to that survey. If there's any questions, I can try to answer those or have Steve answer those as well.
I guess one question I'd have for you, Steve, is how does this compare to last year's inspection? Is it worse or better?
Better, it's better. There was no written response required this time.
And you feel you're still understaffed?
Yes, I do. Because I don't know if Jeremiah told you the last person that we hired to fill the temporary position made it 5 days and had to let him go. Didn't even make it 5 days, actually. So Jeremiah's put it back out and we still have got 0 interest. The full-time is fine, but nobody wants the temporary.
So on a daily basis, do you have like 2 employees at the water department, or how you doing this? How you structuring it?
We send one person up there to the water department, take care of rounds and the daily things that need to be done up there. Somebody else will work on any work orders, locates. I'll have 1, maybe 2, depending on the day. Working on lab, working on stuff around the plant, keeping the
the clarifiers and stuff like that clean. And then anything else that arises that we have to go do, I'm helping them as much as I can. And we can't get to the jetter. We very rarely, camera. We just managed to finish last month. Everything that we had jetted before, I wanted to televise. We just got that done. But this month with also then the summertime, you hit the vacations. The guys want to go, here and there and do stuff when it's warm. So, and the only thing that Jordan, our inmate, can do is drive a lawnmower. So it's kind of, can't send him to go do much and other than mow lawn. I use a pair of hands with you when you're doing stuff, but
So just refresh my memory, how many total employees do you have, full-time employees in the utilities department?
right now there's 5 of us.
And you have an inmate, right?
Yes. When I started, there was 7.
Looking through the inspection report, evaluation. Looks like there's 15 sections with 21 identified deficiencies.
No, the deficiencies are back further. You have to get to page 3.
Well, I look at the facility evaluation on page 2. It indicates where deficiencies noted or significant
Oh, okay.
observations made during the inspections. Check yes or check no.
Yeah, okay. I missed that part. I'm sorry.
And across those 15, there's the yes boxes. We even checked 21 times. With one of those sections being a lagoon structure was not applicable to Anamosa. I understand, I can grasp that these are not significant violations, but they certainly are deficiencies. Deficiencies in, I almost look at it as the standing operating procedures of the facility.
One of the things that I've noticed through this, because I looked at it today, a lot of it looks like maintenance issues. Would that be a fair statement?
We never talked about maintenance when she was here.
Well, she's got
Other
several
than
things here.
other than the fact that, obviously we can't, the jetting is not being done.
Well, that's just one collection system. You got one down here for UV operation and maintenance. Final seven, you have another one. Secondary treatment.
I'm guessing some of that reflects, if you go to page 3 to the compliance summary. Because that's the only place that she makes comments.
It just brings up some concerns. Because that is a very important part of the city. And 21 deficiencies, if you will, throughout 15 different items is a little concerning. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wonder what the one is here for sludge handling and disposal. Do you have any idea on that? We contracted out, right?
Yes, we do. Trying to remember what we talked about.
I guess one more thing I'd mention is emergency operation. She's got that listed. We have backup generators and everything, so.
Mhm.
You have any idea why she would have done that?
No, I don't. And I don't understand why she marked yes, because we are lab certified. When you go under 13, the miscellaneous, we are lab certified. We're doing the tests that we're certified to do. We're passing our PT exams. I guess I did not pay that close attention to that page. I go back to page 3, and that's where I know where I have to, what items I have to fix or what items I have to.
Well, here's
Address.
I can't tell you what page it is. She's got a narrative for the emergency operation. You're having trouble with a transfer switch.
Yes, the transfer, we're having yeah, that's the transfer switch at the main wastewater plant.
So how come we're not addressing this?
I'm waiting on quotes right now.
So if the power goes out, we lose all power to the plant? If it doesn't?
No, what is happening is the transfer switch after the little incident we had at Second Street, and I got to talk to some more individuals with a little more knowledge on the transfer switches. This spring, we had the transfer switch. We was running the generator every Wednesday, exercising it like it had always been. And when it did that, it took out a VFD and it took out a pump in the influent. Fried them both. So after having the conversation with a couple electricians, trying to figure out what we needed to work to get a new transfer switch put in, then talking to the gentleman that came and fixed everything at Second Street, the transfer switch that was installed in the wastewater plant is an instantaneous transfer. And his experience, and he's told me, I have no reason to doubt him. He does a lot of lift stations and wastewater plants. It needs to be a pause. So it'll let the VFDs and everything power down before it then transfers power back and bring everything back up. The SCADA computers, all the important panels are all on battery backup, so they'll stay up and they'll keep running. But I'm just, like I said, I'm waiting on the quotes for the transfer switch. I have not received them yet.
Well, I certainly don't want to dramatize the report because they did not, in a sense, request corrective action and implement it. But I also don't want to downplay the significance.
So I just figured it out. If you go to the checklist and you pick a number, we'll pick number 1. And so item A, D, and E were the ones that she marked yes on. If you go back, it'd be like page 4. Page 4, facility evaluation. There's your yes for 1, A, D, and E. And that's where that was talked about. There's 1, it talks about owning the camera trailer, the jet truck, and trying to clean and televise at least 20% of the collection system. Problems encountered were repaired, scheduled for repair, goal to have the entire collection system televised every 5 years. And we just, it's a note there that obviously we're not meeting that goal. We're not getting 20% done in a year. And then D would be the talking about the bypasses. In the 2 years that this sanitary survey was reviewed, we had 3 sanitary bypasses.
So is our back truck down now, Steve?
No, it's not. It's not down now. We had it, the last issue we had was just with the washout. So it wasn't a big deal. But I think they're also talking about anything that we find in the system that needs repaired. And then if you continue to the next page, it talks about the lift stations and it answers to A, B, and D.
I do see this one on the tower lift station.
Yes.
That lift station's not that old. I think that lift station was put in 08, 07, 08.
Well, that one doesn't have a generator.
I'm just saying that's an example right there.
Mhm.
And some of the stuff is honestly just gonna have to wait till we can get the money and move forward. I understand that part, but like concrete spalling, we could probably patch that concrete before it gets worse, right?
I believe so.
So that's an O&M thing. Like I said, I have concerns.
Well, everything that she has marked up is in those next pages, and it talks about all those things that are marked with a yes or no. Or with a yes.
Thank you.
Well, I would think that, obviously there's improvement to be done. And we would draft some type of game plan to address these and to resolve them, wouldn't we?
We can, some of the stuff we can, but, the biggest control that I don't have right now is, there's 8 hours in a day, 5 days a week. And if we can't get everything done, we can't get everything done. Something has to give some place.
You feel you're prioritizing?
I do the best of my ability to prioritize, yes.
Council, anything? Thanks, Steve. 5.2, project status update for the Hoover sanitary sewer replacement project.
This one is moving right along. I included in the packet just the pre-construction timetable, give everybody kind of an idea on when that's going to fall. We had HR Green go ahead and draft us up it's a very brief letter, tweaked it just a little bit to personalize it for the city, but basically get that information out to the businesses and residents along this project. Kind of let them know that we're coming now and it's happening. Steve was out with his crew putting some notices on doors and getting a hold of businesses, and I've been speaking to others as well as we encounter them, just to let them know that it's happening. And we're going to keep trying to hit this and get it on the website as well, so we can make sure everybody's fully aware of the timetable of this and that we're going to be moving along.
Jeremiah, do you know how long that project's gonna be? Can't recall if I ever heard.
We're hoping December, November. Okay, so I think substantial completion shortly thereafter.
Start in November.
Completed. Yeah, middle of August is when they're planning on starting. They did advise that they had probably their best crew working on this. They're going to try to move through it at an expedient pace. Barring weather or extenuating circumstances, they're going to move right through it.
Thank you.
Another good project that checked off.
Yes.
Also, any questions? Does the public have any comments on this? 5.3, resolution 2025-49. To rescind resolution 2025-44 and set the date for a public hearing to vacate, sell, and convey city-owned right-of-way, former alley between 204 South Division Street and 610 East Second Street, pursuant to section 364.7 of the Iowa Code.
I move to set a public hearing for August 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Anamosa Library and Learning Center.
I'll second that.
Motion by Rich, second by Dan. Council discussion. Public comment. Dave?
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Kate Smith. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Motion to set public hearing carried. 5.4, resolution 2025-50. To approve and adopt the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan as maintained by Jones County Emergency Management. Move to approve. Second. Motion by Kay, second by Todd. Council discussion.
We have Brenda Leonard here if there are any questions specific to this, but Brenda is in charge of one of the subcommittees I'm on, and she's been on top of this for several months. So she's the expert in the room as far as I'm concerned.
Brenda, do you have any comments to make? Jeremiah has printed a hard copy of this management plan. If you need to review it before we go to vote, I'll give you the option right now, but make it quick. Because it is a pretty good stack.
Brenda,
It says approved.
does it satisfy all of the requirements that you need it to satisfy to keep the people in Des Moines happy?
Beautiful, and I want to keep happy, so.
Right. In Washington then,
Yeah.
until they change rules again?
Not.
Exactly. We'll meet again in September anyway, so.
Does public have a comment? The council has no further questions or comments to make. I'm going Kaylee for a roll.
Weimer,
Yes.
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Kate Smith. Yes.
Motion to approve the mitigation plan carries. Brenda, thanks for all your hard work and efforts to put this together.
No problem.
Thanks, Brenda.
5.5, discussion of possible action, damaged property at 110 East Main Street, Tom Durgan.
Tom Durgan, downtown property owner. Before I get into this, if it's okay, I'd like to postpone this to the next meeting.
The mayor's chair, there's no objection. Council, do you see an issue with postponing? Jeremiah?
No.
We will postpone this until the meeting on the
25th, correct? Okay, thank you.
5.6, review and approve Jones County Emergency Response Team 2080 agreement.
This was included in there. The JCERT team has reached out, each of the signatories at the back page. We've added the County of Delaware that I believe was added last year or maybe 2 years ago. Otherwise, the agreement is virtually the same as it has been. We just needed to revisit it, get another update. What has changed on this is the language regarding the I'm trying to remember here how they worded it, the financing and budgeting of it. Whereas before it specified that the city of Anamosa was the account holder on this. Now it is up to the vote of the JCERT board. And that mainly was due to several conversations with myself and board members. There was over years of changes in the city hall staff. It's uncertain at this point where exactly the funds had been going, where they had been coming in from. It was all recorded separately from our accounting system. And we just, I spoke to the board and said, I'm not sure at this point in time if this is something that we're going to be able to go backwards and figure out exactly where everything has been. No concerns as far as, money misappropriated or anything like that. It's just we were not properly recording it from tenure to tenure of different individuals. So what we believe probably happened was it just got stopped recording at some point. We were only capturing our annual data or our buy-in each year and not where the rest of their finances were going. So they believe that they could possibly do that better from the Jones County level. I agree that that was probably best.
And they have a system, a checks and balances system, so they can keep track of them.
As far as I understand, yes.
My understanding too.
It's
It's more efficient for them to take care of it and account for it than each different
Yes.
entity.
I believe that possibly several city clerks ago, there was a hard copy of this being tracked separately. And when we switched to our new accounting system, I am uncertain where that document went to.
I'll move to approve the 28E agreement.
Second.
Motion by Rick, second by Todd. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley, please conduct the roll call.
Kay Smith. Yes. Weimer,
Yes.
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Motion to approve 2080 agreement carries. 5.7, review and approve tree grinding services from Boomerang Corporation for the streets department.
I'll let Shane expound on this if he needs to. He reached out to a few different companies for this. From what I understand, they provided some different information that just wasn't straight across the board. But I believe we're leaning towards Boomerang.
Last year we were in information from Boomerang that we were going to have to run the mulch through twice, and that was going to cost the city a ton more money. So I went with a little higher one last year to just run it through once, and that's not what they were saying. So we're going to try Boomerang this year. Everybody else was a couple $100 more. Yeah, Boomerang is a lesser amount, so
You just have them come once a year.
yeah. And with the storm damage we've had in the last month, it's gonna be a little more. I am working with the state park to maybe see if we can't get some of this burnt, but they didn't give us a very big area, so we can't handle all of it over there. So we're trying to be good partners and help them when they need help, and they'll help us when we need help. So, yeah.
And I don't have the report that was put together on this item in front of me. But unless I'm confusing this with something else, was there So you're saying Boomerang is cheaper by the hour?
Mhm.
There was a mobilization fee,
They all have mobilization fees. Um,
but it wasn't locked in. Did I read that it could certainly increase?
Well, according to this, the first one's at $1,200. Anyone after that is 5,000. That's why I asked how many times.
we only do it once. Rachi was right in there at, I mean, you're at 640. 640 or 675 with grinder and hoe. They increased by $45 and then their mobilization fee was at $400.
That's a big difference when you start the fact that per hour at an $800 difference. Because my understanding, mobilization is paid. And there's no ifs about it.
Yeah, everybody, you have to pay mobilization no matter what. Another company that I reached out to, they get $1,300 right up front for 2 hours. You pay for 2 hours, it's $1,300, and then they're $650 an hour. So, I was just looking at the mobilization from Boomerang, it's $1,200. You're paying $1,200.
What's the expected number of hours?
Probably
8 hours?
mhm.
I guess one question I would have, Shane, is if we do have to have them come back in, say you have a storm, that's $5,000 and that pretty much mitigates any competitive bid, in my opinion, because you never know what the weather's going to do.
We've already had quite a few emergency trees, whether they've been cracked after the last 2 storms. So we're taking another one tomorrow. And then there's 2 more on that emergency list. They have to come down. I'm good with whoever. I just have to let them know.
Per hour, the grinding. It looks to me like Boomerang is the lowest on the grinding. They're at 430. The other 2 that we got said 675 an hour for one and 650 an hour. So it's the mobilization fee that's the kind of the kicker in all of this. We're paying less to Boomerang for the grinding. It's the 1,200 in mobilization, but
I mean, do you think it's fair to grind once a year, or do you think it'd be better to do it twice a year? Because you're running out of room down there now, right?
Yeah, but I'm hoping that we can haul some over to the state park and then burn it in December. But like I said, they don't have a lot of room over there for us.
Because we used to haul to the quarry, if I remember right, and the DNR was raising cane oils for burning. So I can't see why they'd let you do it in a state park.
Because they burn one pile.
We have a lot more of it, I'm sure.
Your recommendation is to go with Boomerang? No, you don't have a recommendation.
I was trying to save the city money in either direction. That's why I went out for 3 bids. And then I want you all to know that we had Rachi last year and they were there for like 8 hours and gone. And I'm hoping that's the same this year. But we are running out of space.
and I may be missing something, but the third bid that it looks like it was put together on the sticky note.
The guy wouldn't send me a bid.
It doesn't say what just tells us the 2 hour minimum hourly fee of $650. But it doesn't tell us. Is that a mobilization fee?
I took that as $1,300 was their mobilization, and then you pay the $650 an hour.
So that one, as far as I'm concerned, it disqualifies itself altogether because it's still unless it doesn't have a $5,000 second mobilization fee, but that one is high on both ends. So it's basically down to me to the other two.
The only comment I gotta make is if the second move's $5,000, that's concerning.
Sure, but the second bid doesn't tell us, they say mobilization fee for $400. Doesn't tell us if a second mobilization is necessary, whether it's gonna stay at 400 or.
Possibly we could, rebid. If it would require a second go.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think at least with regard to the two, what I would call more formal bids. I'd like to, well, I guess we know what. Second mobilization under Boomerang will be the 5,000. I'd like to know from the second person. Whether we're paying one $400 mobilization fee, or if there's a need for a second one, what are they gonna ding us for? The third one, I mean, you can clarify and see what they mean by whether there is a mobilization fee or not, but the third bid to me doesn't look to be too, I guess, serious.
Your preference to make a decision so you can get some of this cleanup.
Yeah, I'd like to. We're running out of space. And they're gonna start on X-31 and most of the mulch is going north. So a couple farmers. I think they're thinking about shutting that down on the 20th, I heard.
Are the bids just to finish out
Just
2025? Or is this August? If we said tonight, bid number one is the bid we're going with, does that go from August 11th of 25 to August 11th of 26, or just?
this is just one time.
Until they get that pile.
Yep. And they're not gonna leave until the pile's done.
Yes.
Yep. And then we'll redo this again the next time we have to do it. It's kind of I get to stand up here twice, you know,
Are you hauling? Where are you going with the mulch after it's,
3 miles out of town.
but you're hauling?
Yep.
Okay.
I have a farmer that if he has time, he'll halt with his side dump, but I gotta catch him.
Okay.
I kind of forewarned him.
Cause I saw the one bid did include semis to haul,
Yep,
but
yeah, and
prefer not to do that if we can help it.
yeah, I don't want to do that. We got 6 dump trucks, we can do it.
Okay.
But Steve's got 2 and I got 4.
So what qualifies as a mobilization? I guess right now we've got a pile that we know.
So mobilization is bringing the equipment here.
Right.
So we're paying for them to bring the grinder and an excavator.
So I guess my question is, if the pile that exists right now is the one we're trying to get rid of,
Yep,
it would seem to me there would be one mobilization, but it could take them 2 days to get it out of here.
it doesn't matter when they get it out of here.
Well, but I mean, they're only gonna need to they're only gonna need to mobilize one time to get
Right.
rid of it. So we know one bid is $1,200 for that mobilization fee, one bid is $400. The issue then becomes the hourly fee, and if we go with the $1,200 mobilization fee, but a lower hourly fee, then to me, it seems like it's a wash. Because, well, I guess it's $675 an hour versus 430. So 8 hours, eight times 400 is $3,200. 8 times 6 is $4,800. So if I pay $1,200 for my mobilization fee, and we think it's going to be done in 8 hours, then the better bid is the $1,200 mobilization fee and the $430 per hour.
If it's done in shorter hours, then we switch kind of the other way at some point.
That may be an issue to discuss the next time it comes
Right.
up, but for purposes of this particular pile that we're dealing with.
Well, historically, if it's taken 8 hours to grind, that's probably what it's gonna take. I'll move to accept Boomerang's bid.
Second.
Motion by Rich, second by Todd. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley?
Crump,
Yes.
Dave Smith,
Yes.
Weimer,
Yes.
Dan Smith,
No.
Motion to accept Boomerang's grinding service bid carries with 3 in favor, 1 opposed. 5.8, review and approve consent agenda pay request totaling $37,673.53. There are 7 items listed. I'll read all 7. Council can make a motion that includes consent, which will bring them all up for discussion, a single vote, or they can make a motion on any of the items. Item A from HR Green in the amount of $2,500 for the water treatment plant aerator replacement project. Item B from HR Green in the amount of $1,699.98 for the water treatment plant disinfection system CPS. Item C from HR Green in the amount of $150.50 for the Anamosa sidewalk program. Item D from HR Green in the amount of $412.50 for the Dillon Military Bridge project. Item E from HR Green in the amount of $1,798.50 for the Engineering Master Services Agreement. Item F from HR Green in the amount of $17,835.75 for Third Street Sidewalk Extension Project. Item G from Schneider and Associates in the amount of $13,276.30 for the wastewater treatment plant flow EQ basin project.
Move to approve consent.
Second.
Motion by Kay, second by Rich. Council discussion. Public comment. Haley, please.
Dan Smith,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Dave Smith,
Yes.
Weimer,
Yes.
Motion to approve consent carries. 6.0, city administrators report.
Just a reminder, the National Night Out tomorrow night from 5:30 to, is it 8, 7? 5 to 7:30. Thank you. At the Wapsiana Park. That's all I have.
Council, you have any questions for Jeremiah? Thanks for that short report, Jeremiah. 7.0, mayor and council report. 7.1, mayor's report. I have none to report. 7.2, council reports.
We had our EMS meeting the other night and plans are underway for building the Jones County Regional law enforcement, or sorry, Jones County Regional facility out by Blue Track. Plan is to have a facility where all of the emergency management items and I believe voting machines housed in a secure facility so that all of our trailers and other special response things will be all in one location as opposed to all over the county. Plus, there will be a fairly good sized training facility there so that we can invite other law enforcement and first responder training sessions can be held out there. I'm not sure when ground is being broken on it, but it will be shortly. It'll be out in the development out by Boomerang.
Thanks for that report, Todd. Anyone else? 8.0 public comment for items not on the agenda.
Like you, Lauren Anamosa. Maybe I'd like to ask permission to talk about an agenda item that you did not allow public comment, and that's on the DNR report. Was there a reason you didn't want,
No, I just
overlooked it?
There was no
Okay,
reason.
that's fine. I'll be brief.
sounds good.
Couple questions on that. I understand that this report came to you guys, or at least to the city, first part of June, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And has any of those been remedied, those infractions been remedied in these 2 months?
I guess I would have to divert to Steve. I don't know when we get these, essentially we present them to council and then kind of go from.
I don't need to know myself. I just want to point that
Yeah.
out, but that's 2 out of 12 months, because I'm assuming it's yearly. So 2 out of 12 months, I'd like to think something's been done in 2 months. And you commented that last year's was worse than this year's. That's not so great either. I mean, if it was 21 violations this year, I'd hate to see what happened last year. And were some of those repeat offenses? Is this something that's a continuing problem? It's something I'd like you to consider. Because many years ago, I sat in one of your chairs here and I learned a lot of things. And one thing I did learn was 2 people you don't want to tick off. That's the IDOT and the DNR. And my last question is, so to me is a serious deal is the transfer switch at the main sewer plant is down. That's correct. That's what I'm understanding.
Works.
So can I ask, we're in the middle of storm season, and I'd hate to see that sewer plant down and out completely, 100%. Do we have the ability to manually go to generation? Okay, I mean, obviously it would take more time than a transfer switch, but in an emergency, you could get that thing online on generator. Okay? Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Items not on the agenda. 9.0 adjournment. This evening's meeting is adjourned. Thanks everyone for taking the time to attend.